Welcome to today's installment of the Attached playlist. Today I really wanted to talk about Taylor Swift's Blank Space. Taylor Swift is a very guilty pleasure for me because, as we've talked about before, plain white tees, it's trite. It's predictable. She follows this formula to exact. It's a science for her. So good. Anyway. Blank Space is a fun song. I really like it. The video is fun too. Throwing shit around. I don't know. Has anyone ever met someone that did a little bit of that? Okay. Anyway, I really think that this song is the very common dynamic between a anxious preoccupied, the person singing the song, Taylor Swift in this video, for instance, and the gentleman would be a dismissive avoidant. There's this play, this constant interplay between these two that draws each other to one another. The anxious preoccupied gets triggered by the fact that the dismissive avoidant is absent, and the protest behavior that ensues triggers the dismissive avoidant to withdraw more, which causes the anxious preoccupied to be more triggered and protest harder, which triggers the dismissive avoidant to withdraw more into a clamshell. And this dynamic, I haven't figured out the dismissive avoidant component, why the dismissive avoidant would tolerate that and stay in the relationship. That's really interesting to me. But it's a very, very common dynamic. Next movie you watch, try to figure out which one's the anxious and which one's the dismissive. It's a lot of fun. This happens a lot too in that Love is Blind show that happened. There was this guy who was hardcore dismissive, and this girl just kept clinging on. It was really sad. It's not a gender thing. I watch a lot of videos that talk about, well, if you do this, the man's going to run back to you. It's not a gender thing. It has to do with how the parent treated the child. A dismissive avoidant is ignored. For many reasons. It's not a blame thing. I'm not saying the parent is bad. Oh, that parent really ignored that child. It's more a matter of working 3 jobs, got 6 kids. Sorry, I'm not going to be as attentive to your emotional needs. You're going to have to self-soothe. So that person becomes very autonomous. And anytime anyone addresses that person's emotional needs, it is seen as an attack by their body. Not even consciously. By their body. As an attack on their autonomy. Whereas the anxious preoccupied, they can wait around for their needs to be met. They can sort of hold out hope. They can think about their partner and they can dwell. Anyway, so with all that background, I love this song. So, nice to meet you. Where you been? I can show you incredible things. Magic, madness, heaven, sin. I love these lyrics. Saw you there, I thought, oh my god, look at that face. You could be my next mistake. New money, suit and tie, that's the shit I don't really care about. Rumors fly, who cares about rumors? Dying to see how this one ends. Grab your password in my hand. I can make the bad guys good for a weekend. Again, the whole dismissive avoidance, they have needs, they have wants, but they're not emotionally available. So this beautiful woman comes over to me and says, hey, let's go for a trip to Europe. I'm not got nothing else to do. Why not? Dismissive avoidance too with sex. Sex isn't associated with their childhood trauma that made them a dismissive avoidant. So sex is a little bit easier for them to venture into with a stranger or somebody else. Because it doesn't have that attachment connotation, that emotional baggage that comes with sexual intercourse. There's attachment there, whether or not it's fully embraced or acknowledged, etc. So is it going to be forever, or is it going to go down in flames? You can tell me when it's over. Was it worth the pain? Now, this is something. Please tell me what you think a Starbucks lover is in the comments below. Because I have my own ideas, and I'm looking forward to other people's thoughts. I'm not sure. So this is something else too. So they have this. I can be dream for a month or two, and then it switches. It's the whole this. Once that person starts to be dismissive, once that person starts to withdraw, that's when the nightmare starts, right? The nightmare dressed as a daydream. She's hardcore. The whole throwing shit, being violent. It's all about the protest behaviors. I feel you slipping away. It feels like life and death for the anxious preoccupied. So I have to react. That's when you show up at the workplace, confront your person in front of their coworkers and their boss. Not cool. But there's that life and death feeling, which I have felt and completely understand in some ways, but it's also not healthy. So the song is just so good at depicting the extreme nature of how anxious, preoccupied some people can be. Very similar to the James Blunt analysis we did. Let's see. Gonna go down in flames. This is the part I really want to get to. One of my children, the one day this song was playing in the car, asked me, "Dad, is it true? Do boys only want love if it's torture?" And I said, "Child, it's not necessarily true. However, a lot of people find great comfort in what is familiar, not what is healthy. So if I grew up in a household where my parents interacted in this way, with the dismissive, the she went to work, she did some stuff around the boss. If I grew up with that, and that's what I know as my idea of what love looks like, I am going to find myself in that pattern, unintentionally maybe. We marry our mothers and our fathers, supposedly. I did, at least once. It's just interesting. So you have these things that go on in these relationships, and you have these beautiful pieces of art that come out of it. But this isn't just a fun song. This is real stuff. Is it worth the pain? I'll tell you when it's over. Please write my name down in the comments. Just kidding. Comments, questions, songs you want analyzed. I'm really eager to see what else you want, but in this channel, as much as I'm not a good singer, I still really enjoy singing, so I'm going to sing a little bit of this that I haven't already. I'm trying to find my favorite part. I get drunk on jealousy. That. Jealousy, let's talk just a little bit, because we want to talk about this a little bit more later. Jealousy. Okay. Protest behaviors, a little bit we've covered. Drunken jealousy. Some people think that jealousy means it's a signifier of desirability, but it's a form of rejection. Because if my love isn't good enough in the form that it is now, and you still feel that jealousy, you're rejecting what I'm offering. My opinion. I'm curious what you have to say about that. Let's just end with that. Boys only want love if it's torture. Is it boys? Is it girls too? Comment below. Thank you very much for your time today.